This is the Fruit Bazooka NEIPA, and this is the Lemon Shanty. Let's talk about them. I've brewed quite a few beers this spring. I don't really do a whole lot of brewing in the wintertime because I have an outdoor shop and it's not heated, so that becomes complicated when you're handling that much water. But I got a renewed passion for brewing this year. I have several more videos going to be published soon about other brews that I've done. But I had to go ahead and do a Homebrew Wednesday so that we can talk about a couple of the beers that I've already brewed. So let's go ahead and get to that. This is the Fruit Bazooka NEIPA from Northern Brewer. So it's one of the recipe kits. A couple of lessons I learned when I was brewing this beer is to not use quite as much water. I had extra water left over in my mash tun, and that hurt my efficiency a little bit. Not anything serious. I fermented at 64 degrees and had a great beer. In fact, this one is almost gone. I had a party about a month ago or so, and it was the favorite. People just kept going back to it. And I like it too. Now, the thing with the NEIPA is a lot of times they don't hold that freshness, that hoppy, juiciness that you want them to the longer they age. This beer's, it's about 2 months old total. And it held a wonderful aroma. I mean, absolutely wonderful. It just got fruity tones, a fresh hoppy scent. I mean, it smells delicious. Let's give it a taste. And I don't know the IBUs, but if I was analyzing maybe the IBU count here, I'm going to put it around 40, 35, 40, somewhere in there. It goes down smooth. You can see the lacing on the glass. It's just a really nice beer. It's a nice summer beer. It's a beautiful IPA. You could drink it any time of the year, but I think it yells summer at you. It's just nice and fruity. There's no off flavors or off, odors. It's got a wonderful mouthfeel. Just a wonderful beer. So first time I did a lemon shanty. And I had a little bit of a problem getting it to carbonate the exact, level that I wanted it. And it's a little undercarbonated. It's still delicious though. Let me go ahead and smell it for you. Now what I did is I used lemon peel, fresh lemon peel, instead of mixing in, you can mix like a pack of lemonade or all kinds of ways you can do a lemon shanty. This came in just under 6%. And it's a bit of a session beer, It's I think it was 5.7 or something like that. It's just I guess a little bit stronger. 5 would probably be that line where you're determining the difference between session and maybe not so session. But I think of it as more of a session beer, a summertime beer. The lemon just comes across. It's striking how bold the lemon odor is, and that smell is it's inviting. It's nice. Let's give it a taste. And the carbonation it's not a big deal on the when you're drinking it. You don't really notice much. You're not like, man, that's undercarbonated. It's actually kind of smooth. It has just the right amount for flavor. It just doesn't give you that pretty head that you're looking for. It does have some wonderful lacing on the glass. You can see it's got a haziness to it, which I like. And it's just got that nice lemon pop. It's a wonderful beer. This is a recipe kit from Northern Brewer as well. There's something on the finish. I can't put my finger on it. Just something there. It's like I don't know. It's hard to describe. Maybe like a dryness where it's going down real smooth and then it dries up kind of sudden at the very end. After you've swallowed and it's just kind of on your tongue, it just dries up kind of fast. Not much of a flavor to it, just the mouthfeel. I'm not sure what that is. If you guys have any suggestions, leave those down in the comments. I did one more beer, a dark beer, which you'll see on a Homebrew Wednesday that's coming up. And that was the last beer that I've done with recipe kits. Since then, I've done a dark beer, and I'm about to brew my second NE IPA of the summer because that one keg is kicked. So it's I'm making my own recipe kits now. I'm far enough along that I can kind of put this together and come out with what I'm looking for. The dark beer came out beautifully. I did do one recipe kit dark beer, and that is on tap right now, but it's not on tap on my normal kegerator. Let me show you what I got going on now. So I built a Keeser, and it really wasn't all that hard. The main reason in building this is I wanted a nitrogen tap, and that is what I set it up as. Currently on this tap, I have a coffee drink. It's a bunch of liquors and coffee mixed together, and it comes out on nitrogen. It's absolutely amazing. This is actually beer gas, so it's 75% nitrogen, 25% CO2. And this is a dark beer. Let me show you inside. I delayed making this for a long time because I thought it was going to be so hard. But I got the cooler on sale or the freezer on sale, and the parts, they really weren't all that expensive. And what I have is a place to store 2 kegs as well as tap a half keg and a corny keg. So I got a 2.5 gallon keg over there with the coffee stuff. I've got my nitrogen bottle and the regulator and the splitter. And then that comes over to the kegs. Now, I will say I've had a bit of trouble adjusting pressure to get it just right. I had the pressure just right for the coffee stuff, but then I accidentally I carbonated the dark beer, the porter, with CO2, and I was only going to do it for 2 days and then put it on nitrogen. But I forgot about it. So it ended up staying on 20 PSI CO2 for a week. So it's overcarbonated and it's not turned out the way that I want it. But that's part of this, you got to get it done and then learn your lessons and just keep improving. And so what you're seeing here is a duplicate of my fermenter. And right now I'm not using them, but the reason for that is I've decided to get into Kettle sour beers. We have a local beer company called Dewey Beer. They're making some incredible Kettle sour. So I got to get in on this. I got to start getting some of these beers. That way I can put my fruit and whatever I'm putting into the sour in one fermenter. And then I can transfer after the beer has soured and done its original fermentation. I can transfer over to the other fermenter with the fruit in it, so I don't have any oxygen contamination. I should get some nice, fresh, crisp, sour, fruity beers. So let me show you what I'm working on with my cart. Right here is the newest addition. Haven't used it yet. That is my new brew kettle. And I needed a 10-gallon kettle because I kept having problems with boilovers. And after the last one, I said, it's not going to happen again. So went ahead and invested in the SS BrewTech 10-gallon. And man, this thing's beautiful. It has the shield, so hopefully it won't screw my fittings up, my gaskets. Can't wait to put this thing to work, and I'm probably going to use it next week. You guys have already seen this. This is my standard mash tun, SS BrewTech 10-gallon. Beautiful piece of equipment. Love working with this thing. Never had a single problem. And then my 10-gallon SS BrewTech HLT, and that's what I heat my water up in. What I've started doing differently is I am heating up the water for the entire brew, and I'm trying to skip the sparge. And I've done one beer like that, and it turned out well. So it's probably what I'm going to do on the next one as well. The newest addition, which I'm still working on, this is the Blickman Rims Rocket. And what this is going to allow me to do with the Commander control box from Blickman is recirculate my wort when it's in the mash tun. So I'll have a hose coming out the outlet, and it's got a temperature sensor here. That'll go back up and into the sparge arm or the sparge area for the mash tun. The water's going to go, or the wort's going to go out the outlet of the mash tun, down into the pump, and then the pump's going to pump it over to the Rims Rocket. And inside of here, there's just a coil. And using the Brew Commander, I'm going to be able to keep the temperature exactly where I want it. I can do step mashing, and I'm learning with step mashing, you can get all kinds of different acquired flavors and, just different elements to the beer that you can't get when you're doing single infusion. I know it seems like a lot of money, a lot of work to get all that set up, but I'm finding these little improvements really add a lot of reliability to the fact, to the beer. Like I'm getting what I'm expecting. And I think the one weakness I had was my variable temperature in that mash tun, because I'm pumping it over. I'm pumping it from the HLT over to the mash tun. And, it's just hard to nail that, that temperature, whether it's 53 or 55 or 59 or whatever it is. It's hard to just get that mash spot on without adding more water or putting some cool water in. And so the RIMS system is going to allow me to just dial that temperature in exactly where I want it. I will say it took quite a bit of research of how to get this thing just right. And a little bit of trial and error, but nothing too serious. Those are your two main components, the RIMS Rocket and the Brew Commander. What I'll tell you is the RIMS Rocket already comes with the temperature sensing devices and fittings, so you don't have to buy those. And it didn't make that clear on Blickman's site, so I ended up buying a duplicate. But that's okay. I'm always a fan of having extra parts on hand. And that way, if you ever get into brew day and you have a problem, hopefully you can address it. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten into brew day and had a problem, and we're so grateful that I have a whole, a bin full of extra parts and things. Guys, that's it. That's it for Homebrew Wednesday. And I have a beer I'm brewing next week. I have several beers that you haven't seen yet as far as a Homebrew Wednesday, but you watch me brew them. And everything is going swell. Like I said in the beginning, I have a renewed passion for brewing again. It's a lot of work, and it can be defeating when something bad happens, or things just, you just struggle with things. But when it turns out and you see people just like raving about, I need another, can I get some more of that beer? Can I have some more of that beer? Have at it. That's what I make it for. So I can enjoy it, and some of my friends and family can enjoy it. And it's really great when they do. And, it's just like with barbecue, like I do on my channel. When you can put out something that is real nice and brings people together and opens some conversations up and just brings people closer, I think that is always a positive thing. So I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for your time. Hopefully you got something out of the video. I hope that you're going to stay tuned for some of the videos coming up as far as brewing and the Homebrew Wednesdays. And I hope that you guys have an awesome week. I'll see you on the next video.